What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Twilight Cup testing. In this one we're going to try out a few different Pokemon, and I'm also going to show you some search and sorting tips to find Twilight Cup Pokemon, and then also put them in a place where you can find them again later. So I hope you enjoy. Cheers! Okay, so first up is a tip on how to find all the current Pokemon that you have under 1500 CP that fit into the four categories of the Twilight Cup. So first you type in CP minus 1500, which will bring up all your minus 1500 CP Pokemon. And then you type and the four typings of the Twilight Cup. And that will sort out all the types that you need for Twilight Cup and making sure they're under 1500 CP. If you sort your whole list by CP, that'll throw all the top high CP Pokemon to the top of the list. So once that's done, how can we put all our Pokemon in a spot where we can find them again easily? When I go through my list and I find the Pokemon that I would potentially like to test out, I give them all the same symbol as shown on screen now. So all I have to do is type in that symbol, and really quickly they'll all pop up. Here you can see I put the symbol on Froslass, which means Froslass will now be a part of that group. When I put the symbol back in, they'll all pop back up, including the Froslass just there. So before battles, I can type in that symbol and it will bring up all the current Pokemon that I'm testing. So jumping into a battle now, you can see I have one slot that's dedicated to Cup teams, and you can see my old Boulder Cup team there. So now I'll go to the search feature, put in my little symbol, and it will bring up all the Pokemon for the Twilight Cup that I'm currently testing. So I can select my team quite easily, and I can keep track of what works and what doesn't. But having them all in one place like this, and constantly being able to look over and remind yourself of what works and what doesn't, is a good way to, keep track of what you've tested and what you haven't as well. In this battle, I decided to test Froslass for the first time to get an initial impression of how she goes. And I also decided to keep testing Umbreon and Wigglytuff a little bit further. So here we go. First up we got Froslass, who's running Hex and Shadow Ball, so double ghost type moves. And just initial impressions, just seeing how the fast attacks go, and I can see that Azumaril is doing a little bit more damage, so I get out of there before I have to take a charge move. I'm hoping that the charge move was fairy, so I took it, and it come off okay. My opponent now switches out to a Marowak, which is actually not a bad matchup for me because this Wigglytuff runs Faint Attack, which is a dark type fast move, and does super effective damage against the Marowak's ghost typing. Then on the flip side, Wigglytuff's normal typing means that he's immune from the Marowak ghost type attacks. So in Pokemon Go, immunity means that he only takes 0.39 damage, or 39% of the normal damage that he normally otherwise would take. And at this point I'm really happy with the way Feint Attack has performed. I feel like it's done a really nice amount of damage just for fast attacks on Marowak. I actually bugger up a little bit there. I should have saved that charge attack for the next Pokemon to come in and just finish Marowak with one or two more Feint Attacks, but I guess that's why we test. So Wigglytuff's nearly done here. I'll just try and get a little bit more damage off. No point wasting that shield with Wigglytuff nearly being fainted, so I'll take that hit, save my shield for the next Pokemon. Coming in next we got Umbreon, and I feel like this is a Pokemon that could get a fair bit of usage in the upcoming Twilight Cup. Has really good defenses backed up by some strong stamina as well, so it's going to be able to take some hits. Taking a look at its attack stat now, and while it's not that impressive, it actually gets access to some not too bad moves, like Feint Attack and Snarl, who both do not too bad damage and raise energy at a pretty decent rate. Foul Play on screen now charges at a pretty decent rate as well. It only has an energy cost of 45, so you can see Foul Play charges up not too bad there. But I think if you get Umbreon into a situation where it has the type advantage, it's really going to excel. Really well. You'll see here in this part of the battle, I actually take this play rough rather than shield it and get off my own foul play. The reason for this is quite simple. The foul play onto Azumaril is a resisted hit, meaning it won't have its full damage output. So I decided to save that shield for my Froslass coming in last, who with its Hex and Shadow Ball actually charges up pretty quickly and gets off not bad damage. So I wanted to try and optimize that. Also worth mentioning is that Froslass attack stat is a lot higher than Umbreon's, meaning that Froslass damage output is going to be greater. So I thought I'd save my shield for Froslass and potentially try and do as much damage as possible to try and come back and take the victory. Which, as you can see, actually works out not too bad. So, well, that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of testing and the few tips at the start. Please leave a like and a comment, and stay tuned for more. Cheers!